So let's do our, let's see, me and no chair host, yeah. Do our little intro here. This is the monthly meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. It is July 15th, 2020, 7:02 p.m. The meeting is coming to order. We are recording, but there will also be minutes. And we have myself, Bert Hansen, co-chair, Marissa Cook-Obregon, co-chair, Commissioner Tammy Sayak-Bisalan, Commissioner Zach Barnett, Commissioner Dan Cook, Commissioner Brett Colson, Conservation Coordinator Dennis Clark, and Jean, do we have a title for you?
Nobody wants to know what it is, really.
We have Jean Nilsson here taking minutes and offering general support. So we can get going.
Is Ron here? Ron Cicchini?
Yeah, you can see him and Dan are
I'm
together.
here.
Oh, Ron and, okay, so Ron Cicchini and Dan Cook are
with Dan, okay.
together, yes, okay. Good
Okay.
In terms of our agenda, it looks like we don't have any other members of the public. In communications, do we have any letters, emails, other stuff we need to think about?
Jean, did we get any mail? Do you know of?
Any mail?
Just that one letter that we already talked about before the meeting.
About the Flynn Farm?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And we probably should say something about that. So is somebody objecting to?
There was a complaint about the Flynn Farm having vehicles and certain things that were zoning violations. And the zoning enforcement officer had written her, I guess, several letters, and she responded that quite a few of the things that he cited her for are allowed in the right to farm bylaw for farms. And the other things that he cited, she has corrected. Anybody would like a copy of that letter, I'm sure Jean will be happy to send it to you.
Okay.
yeah, it basically looks like it's addressing farm vehicles and some non-farm vehicles on a boat which has been removed. And this started with Mr. Lawler, and it is now going to Kyle Scott, the new building inspector. But it essentially says that, you know, she believes that she's addressed the violation notices that have been sent to her. So if you want a copy of it, I have it, and I'll be glad to send it over. Okay?
Yeah.
But at this point, Jean, they haven't asked for the Agricultural Commission's input on this?
No, it was actually addressed to the building inspector. However, a copy of it was in the Agricultural Commissioner's mailbox.
Very good.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me. So minutes of our last meeting, June 10th. Dennis sent those out earlier today. Did anybody, have you had a chance to look at them? And if so, any comments? Or do you want to take a minute to look at them now? I had two small things on the third page. One was adjourning. I don't think it was 7:12. I don't think we got through all that stuff in 12 minutes.
Oh, I think you did.
Very good.
Maybe 8:12?
Yeah,
Okay,
probably more like it.
okay.
And then in terms of the signature area, I'm glad, Jean, that you got Hansen, Hansen, but I'm actually Bert, not Brett. So just, you know.
It's an identity crisis you're having with me, Burr, okay?
Apparently I am, yes.
Hey, nobody noticed that I had Tammy Clark,
Oh,
Shows you I didn't read it.
and I finally just changed that at this set
Okay,
of minutes.
Well, that one I
Nobody
missed.
noticed that before, huh?
But it's good to have all these sets of eyes on it.
Okay, I'll make those changes.
Okay. Thank you.
Looking for a motion?
Yes, is there a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
I would make a motion. Dennis Clark would make a motion to approve the minutes as
Okay.
amended.
Tammy
I'll-
Styak, seconds.
Aye.
Oh, wait. Wait a sec there.
Stan, aye.
There's a premature aye there.
So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Roll call.
Roll
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Where you have to mention everybody's name for a roll
Okay.
call.
Yeah. So Bert Hanson is aye. Marissa?
Aye.
Aye. Tammy?
Aye.
Zach? Aye. Dan?
Aye.
And Ron?
Aye.
And Brett?
Aye.
And Dennis?
Aye.
Okay. Since all are aye, I'm not going to ask for nays. So it's unanimous. Okay.
Okay.
Our old business list is lengthy. So the APR signs, I think, Marissa, that's pretty much your
Yeah.
baby. Any
I'm
no pressure, but where are we?
What's going on?
still working on getting through the list of people who I have that may be interested in the signs. A few people haven't gotten back to me. John Coward definitely wants a sign, so at least I'll have one sign so far in South Lake.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I
Well,
still
that'll be right on College Highway too, right? So
I think he actually wants it for his property on Vining Hill. Does he own?
Oh,
property
oh,
on Mort
okay.
Vining Hill? I can't
It's
remember.
right across from Hubert.
yeah.
Yeah. So we have at least one willing participant in the sign.
Okay.
I still need to get through the rest of that list, and I still need to contact Ron Hall to update that because he had mentioned that he'd be able to verify if that list is actually up to date. And I have not done that yet, unfortunately. So
Okay. 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 And then the right to farm signs, similar. That's from Kestrel, right?
no, the right to farm signs would be from the town vote. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Right.
I don't know how that works. Like now that the town vote has been approved, what happens next? Like, do we have access to the money, or do we need to?
You get a quote on the signs. You give it to me. I get a request or purchase order for the amount of money. We submit that. Then
Okay.
you get it done, and we pay that. They get a check for doing it.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, I have a bunch
Yeah.
of quotes. I got a bunch of quotes in April and in May, so I'll just review one of those. And
We need the vendor. If they don't have an ID with the town already, we'll need their W-9 information and all that kind of good stuff to get their request for purchase order.
okay, all right. In terms of choosing a vendor, happy to share the information that I got over the past couple of months. I don't know what the proper way of bringing that to the group is. Do you guys want to see all the quotes, or do we go for the lowest bidder? I mean, how does it work? I'm not sure.
It's not necessary because of the low amount of money involved. You can just shoot. If you want to bounce it off the commissioners, it's great, but I don't have to see it myself. I mean, I would trust your judgment.
Okay.
Right. Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty standard signs that they're just going to be made out of the same reflective material that other traffic signs are made out of. So it's that sheet metal. And because it's the same material specifications for all the quotes, it literally, I think, just comes down to price, since it's all the same exact thing. It's a standard material that's used for traffic signs. So
Are the quotes pretty similar?
No, there's actually one that's a little bit higher. I think it's Agnoli Signs. Is that?
Okay, yep.
And the reason being that the contractor there or the vendor is more hands-on with helping us get through DOT bureaucracy, because there's a lot of paperwork that would need to be
Oh.
filed with DOT to get it approved for the state highways. Like for 57, for instance, is a state highway, whereas 202 is administered by the town of Southwick.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay though. I have spoken to our local DOT manager in Northampton, and he said that he would be willing to kind of help me a little bit with the documentation, seeing that I'm not really part of the like typical, I'm not from typically the background that they have most applicants from, which are from DPWs and whatnot. I'm kind of applying
Yeah.
as a totally different entity. So he was willing to help out since it's kind of a smaller project anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we may not need to go with the higher quote to get the help.
I don't think so. No, I reviewed it. It's definitely a few more steps. It's a little bit more legwork, but it was a bit more money, and it's beyond getting it done with the guy who would do a lot of the project management is beyond what we were given by the town. So it almost selects in that way as well. Yeah, it's like an extra $500 beyond, which it is what it is. I mean, it is a bit of work, but I think it's manageable, and I've done all the research and I have the paperwork ready. So I think
But it's within the $2,500, within the $2,500 that we got allotted.
Yeah. For most of them, it comes out to about 2,200, 2,300. So I think we'll be just fine in terms of that, and then we can return if there's any money left after. I don't know.
So good job on the ballpark estimate of 25 if it's actually coming in at 22. Right?
Yeah,
22.
I don't know. I definitely didn't choose that number. I think it might have been Randy or Dennis that like selected that number. So thank you, because I had no idea.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we can go ahead with that, yes?
I guess so, right? Is that what I understood? I can.
Voted approved, yeah. I don't think there's any waiting period. Right, Gene?
No, you need to send me the quote for the vendor that you are going to choose, and I can make sure that they are an established vendor or whether I need to get a W-9 from them before I can do a purchase order.
Okay, will
Okay.
do, Jean. Thanks.
Just quick question. What's a W-9? I don't think I.
It's a tax form.
Form.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Of course it is.
Can't pay anybody without taxes, you know that. And the town is actually exempt from paying taxes.
I think
So that's, it's a government entity. That's basically what it's for. Okay?
that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Sounds good. There you go. Okay, let's see. The farm brochure. Tammy, you had a couple of potential additions, I think, right?
I
That you
did.
emailed
I
about?
emailed I think it's called Firefly Fields. I have not heard back from them yet, but I just reached out saying what we do with the brochure. I think I took a picture and sent that just so they knew I was a legitimate person on the commission, because I'm asking for their address, their phone number. But they do have a Facebook page. I haven't driven out there just to like go visit, but it seems pretty interesting. They have a dairy farm with goats. So they do the goat milk soap. It says that they do goat yoga and have like a little petting zoo for birthday parties or something like that
There
too.
you go.
Yeah.
Goat yoga. Now that's where the goats like climb on you, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm just
No.
waiting to hear back from them to see if they're interested, which I can't see why they would not be, since they're on other like Westfield Farmers Market Facebook page. So when that has been open, they've either been
Okay.
there or we're going to be there, and other farm groups I've seen them on too.
Mm. And just a little tangent, I think the Westfield Farmers Market is opening at the end of this month, whatever that last Thursday is.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah,
Finally.
yeah. Well, because it's connected with the church, and the churches are going through a whole process of how to reopen and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's been pretty complicated, I think. Anyway. Okay, good. And then if we have that information from Firefly Fields, and then can we go ahead and produce the brochure?
We
Marissa?
could, yeah, and I'm still behind on that. I need to lay that out.
Again, no pressure. We got a lot going on here.
Let me know if you need any help with that, Marissa. I'll give you a hand.
That would be great, Brett. Actually, I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, just
I
let me
think
know.
you have all the information as well of the farms
I
that you
do,
reached
yeah.
out to, right? Did you
Yep.
find that spreadsheet?
Yeah, no, I've got it all. I've got it all somewhere in my email.
If I make it really like basic, can you copy and paste all that information in there? Is that
Yeah, I think so.
feasible? Okay, if I just make the graphics, like, and you can then just like,
Yeah, transpose my info that I've gotten. Yeah.
that would make it a lot easier then. Okay.
So once I get back from that farm, I'll email it out to you and Brett so you have that new information.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
It seems a little less daunting than if I literally just have to do the layout, like the graphic aspect, and then somebody else will help populate it. Because then it's just kind of like entering information. That would be a big help, actually.
Yeah. So it sounds like we can wrap this up maybe like next week. No, just kidding.
I was like, you scare me, Bert.
And speaking of no pressure, our next item is a census of farms in town, and that's kind of my thing, and I haven't really done anything with that yet. So,
Oh, good.
TBD. Community garden status. I think I reported last time the community garden is booming this year. We had, 3 open plots last time, and we still have 3. A lot of activity in the garden this year. It's really good to see. Dennis, what'd you say? You got 5 pounds of peas out of there yesterday?
I got at least 5 pounds of peas out of there just today.
Oh, today. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really, people are in there and building all kinds of creative structures to support their plants. Out of, twigs from the forest and, whatever. So it's really good this year.
Bert, has it ever been filled?
It's
No.
never been filled all the way. No. This is the best.
The best? Okay.
This is the best year so far. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And the well has not gone dry. We still have water in the well, which is good.
Well's doing good.
A lot of people do a lot of watering.
Yeah. I mean, we have those projects that I've mentioned, supporting the fence posts and rebuilding the gates. And I haven't, gotten any sort of work groups together to do that yet, but we'll do that.
I will be right back. I just have to go shut my oven off.
Okay.
We're talking about putting up some signs to remind people to close the gate. Maybe put a kind of latch on the gate. So when I went there last week, the gate was wide open. Luckily, I didn't see any animals in there, but kind of defeats the purpose of having that whole fence around.
All that work we did last year. Yeah.
What kind of signs do you need? Just a laminated 8.5 by 11?
Yes. Yes.
I could make up a sign.
Oh, great. Awesome.
And there's 3 gates, so Gene, we would actually need 3, and just like, please.
Oh, I just said 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got extra costs for the other
Wishing
2.
you luck.
Yeah, you just pay me the big bucks as your secretary. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay?
Okay, and then Marissa, you've been in touch with the Lake Management Committee, and we want to invite them to the August meeting. Whether they come or not, we don't know, but, and I know you're working on that.
Yeah, I drafted a letter today. Thank you guys for helping me edit it. I'll send that off tomorrow to, I actually don't know who the chair is. That's a good idea to actually address it to the chair.
Yeah.
of our
Is that,
Dick Reynolds.
is that
Oh, Dick Reynolds is the
Reynolds? Yeah.
chair.
Reynolds, yeah.
Ah, okay, all right. I thought he
I
was maybe.
didn't have that top of mind when I was emailing, but I think it's Dick. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I definitely have his email since I was going back and forth via email with him. So I'll address that to him. I'll make that edit. I'll send you a copy as well, Jean, because I think you had mentioned that you want a copy for our records of the invitation. So.
Well, if you just want to send it to me, I'll make sure that it gets into his mailbox at Town Hall.
Oh, great. Okay.
So you don't have to send it to him. I'll just
Oh,
print it.
oh,
Oh,
that's very,
that'd be
very
awesome.
good.
Give it.
Okay.
However, he is on vacation, I believe, until like the July 29th. So you won't get a response. The next AdCom meeting, is it the first Wednesday? Would be August 5th?
I think it's the
Yeah.
second. We meet
Actually,
Wednesdays, right?
yes.
The
Wednesday.
2nd?
I think I made it for August 12th. Should I make
August
it maybe-
12th, okay, yeah. So Dick will still have enough time when he comes back from his vacation to respond to it.
Yeah.
Okay, you think that's enough time? I can make it later. I mean, at this point.
Let's shoot for that. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
I thought the letter was perfect. Very well done.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. And that's a couple of weeks, for them.
Right.
to-
He'll have
to-
time.
Yeah.
I know Dick mentioned to me when we were kind of going back and forth about it back in June that he felt like he was too busy to come to the meetings and that he would assign somebody else to come talk to us if he got a letter of like an invitation from us. So I don't know if it would actually be him. Maybe he'll send somebody else, and
Yeah.
it'll be Zoom still by then, right? Like August, I assume we're still going to be doing Zoom potentially.
Hope so.
Probably.
You are allowed to come into Town Hall. There's a maximum of 25 people, and you have to keep
Oh.
a 6-foot distance. And the only room that has enough room is the land use meeting room.
Right.
Okay.
So you are technically allowed to come into Town Hall now. However, if you want to invite anybody to your Zoom meeting that's not a member or an employee of Town Hall, they would have to participate via Zoom.
Gotcha.
Gene, is there written
Oh.
policy? Is there written policy on that you could share? Because I know Tammy Spencer, the health officer, was talking about getting a written policy so we could know what we're supposed to do and who can come in, how they get there, and is this
I
just
haven't seen one.
something you just overheard? The way we find all our information in town hall.
Word of mouth.
Through the
I found
grapevine,
out
huh?
about who
Grapevine.
works at Town Hall when I got my hair cut yesterday.
Wow.
I can ask Tammy to see if that's been,
Yeah, that would be good, because I would like to maybe try and do that. Some people could come to town hall, some people could stay home. Could be a mixed kind of thing.
Yeah.
If we had a policy that we knew about, it would be good to.
Yeah. So Gene, it sounds like we as a commission could potentially meet in the land use room, but if our guests would have to come by Zoom, is that right?
that sounded like what's supposed to happen now, because nobody outside of a town employee is allowed anywhere but the town clerk's office. And if you have a meeting, they have to make sure they do a pre and a post cleaning.
Oh.
And everybody has to wear masks, even though you're
Yeah.
going to be 6 feet apart.
Yep.
So, and they're not letting any of the public per se in yet, except for that one designated area in the town clerk's office. But I'll ask Tammy about it on Friday.
Written policy.
Yeah, find out if she's created a policy. Okay?
Great.
Sounds good. Yeah. Although, as Dennis was saying, I'm happy to keep meeting on Zoom.
Yeah, me too.
kind of got used to it, and it's a lot easier in terms
Yeah,
of.
we've got a full quorum to full board tonight.
Sure. Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
What do you got next?
Can I
here?
ask a question?
Yeah.
Hear me? Yeah, would you guys like to go out of town to a Suffield museum? It's an old farm, and they're doing a lot of agricultural stuff there. And I think it'd be neat if you guys all saw this and give us ideas for our
Oh.
town.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know one of the, like the chairman of this museum, and he could probably let us in there anytime that's suitable for us. Come up with a date and go over there and check it out. Be really cool.
Yeah.
That would be great, Dan. I'd be really interested.
It's in Hilltop Farm, Suffield, Connecticut.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not far. It's right down the road from
Right over
Six
the
Flags.
line. Yep.
Right.
And so, Dan, you're thinking we would go as a group?
Yeah, go as a group.
Yeah.
You know, we could keep our social distancing,
Well, sure.
and I think everybody would like it. It's a pretty cool place. It was built back in the 1800s.
Sounds
That would
good to
be
me.
great.
Yeah. So we can go anytime. You're
Yeah,
saying?
it'd probably just be a group of us. How many come? 8, all of us. I don't know how many there is. 8 of us, right?
One,
Yeah.
two,
6, 7, maybe a couple more,
Yeah.
10.
yeah, it's 8. Yep. Sure.
I'll
Get some
talk to.
dates and potential dates.
I'll try to do it for next month. Our meeting, the same. I don't know if that's cool or not. Or
Ah,
With me.
yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
okay. So I'll figure it out with him.
That sounds great. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll try
Dan.
to
That's
set
good.
it up for next month, and I'll get back to all of you.
That
Awesome.
sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Is it a functioning farm?
No, not anymore. It's basically public property by Suffield, Connecticut.
Oh, is it?
And they had like the well, I don't know about now, but they had for many years now, they had like the working weekends where you could go and learn what it was like to work on a farm. Do they still do that, or has the virus kind of stopped that?
This year they stopped everything on the
Yeah.
farm because of the virus.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to have a vintage baseball game on the property, and they said no.
Yeah.
So we'll do it next year. But
Right.
yeah, I think we could get on it as a small group. They would let us come on and for an hour, 2 hours, whatever.
Cool.
I think you guys would all love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That would be great. Yeah, like you said, give us some ideas maybe of what we can do in town or something similar. Like,
Yeah, they got some cool. They got people renting out space for beehives. It's all sorts of stuff going on.
that's awesome.
They kind of have the same town garden there. You can come up and pay $50 for a little spot of land, and you can grow your own garden.
Wow.
50, huh? Maybe we should raise ours.
Connecticut. We're talking about Connecticut. Everything's more expensive
What's the
there.
price of ours?
20.
20. Yeah.
So what else you got on the agenda there,
Okay. Well, we got the
Brett?
new business. Yeah. Yeah. New business with the 3 properties that are in various, potential states of being preserved. Actually, Dennis, I think you know a lot more about this than I do. So Jack Feldman's farm, and he just wants to expand. He wants to expand the area.
Expand his fields and maybe a farm pond. Marissa, did you take that course with me with Scott Jackson up at the MACC?
I did, yes.
I took it and I thought I remembered everything. Now I'm having problems remembering, but that
There was a lot of information.
he wants to create some new fields, potentially a farm pond, and grant the agricultural commission back him on.
I'm sorry, Dennis. I don't think we can hear you. I think
There's some
background noise.
background noise here somewhere.
I'm gonna mute Brett because, but no, it's, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he would like to, he's got potato fields. I don't know if you've been out to his farm before. It's going towards Connecticut off of Route 202.
Yep.
And he's got some land in the back. There are some wetlands back there, but he wants to work around the wetlands. And as we saw in our class, you can get pretty close to the wetlands. You could even cut trees in the wetlands if you needed to. And there's some grants available. And if the Agricultural Commission could help him with the grants, you know, help sponsor him for a grant, that would be a really good thing. He knows of one grant, but I'm wondering if we maybe get in touch with Pete Westover to see if he has any ideas about, you know, how we can go about helping him out to make his fields bigger.
Who's Pete Westover?
Pete Westover is the person who started the Agricultural Commission
Oh,
in
okay.
Southwick, and he has his own Conservation Works, his own company now.
Ah,
It's helped out the agricultural commission before, spoke in front of us, and I'm trying to send him the information, find out if we can employ his services to help us with this grant, with a grant.
Yeah, Scott was here at the beginning of the year in Southwick. I don't know if you were there, Tammy. He came and talked to us about the APR and how we can switch over to the tracking program and get not have Southwick pay as much, like 10% down to 5%.
Yeah, that was
Do you remember? That's him. Yeah.
No,
okay.
that wasn't Scott. That was
That was Pete
was
Westover, right?
that right. You were talking about Pete.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I couldn't remember the name of
Oh, but were you thinking of contacting Scott Jackson?
I know you're right. We should talk to Pete Westover. Scott Jackson's the one that held the class at the MACC on agricultural exemptions and how you could do it. But like I say, it all seemed to make so much sense when I was at
It
the
was really
class,
clear. Yeah.
and it was really clear at the time. But right now, not so much. So
Could we maybe contact Scott Jackson? Because he's originally from Southwick, right? Like he is the descendant of Fred Jackson, right?
I would love to do that. Yeah.
A descendant of Fred Jackson? No kidding.
That's what someone told me. Maybe it's Dewey, but
It was his grandfather.
oh no, really? It's true. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Me, Fred Jackson.
I want to meet a descendant of Mort Vining.
How about Ed Holcomb?
Yeah.
Oh, Holcomb, that's right. Another good one.
How about Will Palmer?
Buzz Anderson?
Mhm. Right, all those guys.
First and last name.
How about College Highway?
Actually, that was named because it is a direct route between the two major colleges,
Yale.
Yale and Harvard.
No
Oh.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's cool.
See, I'm full of useless information.
Yeah.
I think
It
that's
wasn't anybody whose last name was Highway, right?
I'll keep you posted on the Feldman project. Hopefully, by the next meeting, we'll have some more information and how we can help him.
that would be good.
And then 38 Mort Vining, right down the road from me. Dennis and Marissa, you had a meeting with the owners of that property, and we actually have a call tomorrow to kind of follow up on some of that. Did Marissa or Dennis, do you know, did the sale of that house go through?
Actually went to the planning board, and the planning board approved the building lot because the house and the lot itself should have been excluded from the Chapter 61 process. What happened was, back when it was put into Chapter 61A, it used to be 40,000 square feet for an R40. Now it's 60,000 square feet for an R40. So they had to get an additional 60,000 square feet. So it was a technicality. Is if they could get the house and sell the house, that would give us some time to work with them on possibly taking our property or turning it back to farmland somehow.
Yeah.
So We'll buy you some time if they can sell that house, which I believe, I'm not sure if the sale went through. It was supposed to be last week. We'll find out tomorrow, though, I'm sure. Do you have anything you want to talk to, any talking points for them tomorrow? What is the gist of this conversation with them tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been spending a lot of my time doing, not the other things like the brochure, unfortunately, but just kind of doing research on all the different options. Because for everybody who might have not gotten the update, a couple of weeks ago, Dennis and I managed to go to the property and speak to the owners and kind of create a dialogue with them. So first of all, we learned that they had been interested in the past in conservation, and they had gone to town hall like 15 years ago to learn what options. And I guess back then, no one really gave them any information. So fast forward to now, you know, I think they're two sisters, right, Dennis? Are they sisters,
Yeah,
Janet and Rita?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have this farm, they kind of want to get rid of it, and that's why the whole development question came up. But then when Dennis and I went there and mentioned that APR is an option, there's a few other things that we could do, they seemed interested, but they were kind of at their wits' end with the bureaucracy and whatnot of selling a house and everything. So like Dennis said, if we can buy some time and they sell their house, but then the rest of the land is still open, then hopefully tomorrow, I'd like to explain a little bit more about the APR program to them, because I've spoken with Land for Good, I've spoken with Kestrel, I spoke with the gentleman who actually up in Hatfield helped turn a farm that was under 61A, similar situation, turn that farm into a vineyard because it did not qualify for APR. APR has gotten much stricter in the past few years. Soil quality is a big thing now for APR, whereas the adjacent farm next to this farm, same soil, got approved for APR before they made more stringent soil standards. So I'm a little worried about that, but that's something we can ask around Paul for. But I think based off of all the conversations I've had over the past few weeks, everyone is saying you should do APR with this property if possible, because then they can sell it. The only thing that I don't know if anybody knows, it's a lot of land. It's 86 acres. I don't know that we'd find somebody who would want to buy all 86 acres. So if something gets APR'd if something gets APR'd as 86 acres, can you subdivide that into smaller farms later on that are all APR'd, or do you have to keep it all under one entity, one owner? I don't know.
What are they asking? How much are they asking for the 86 acres?
That I don't know, because the only prices that I saw were for like development lots that had been perked and whatnot. And that was just the frontage. Do you know, Dennis?
Dennis, you're muted.
No.
You'd have to have an appraisal done on it. That's the first thing you need to have done. First thing you need to have done is an appraisal. And if they had an APR, if the APR people will pay for an appraisal, you don't have to commit to the process, but at least you'll know what the property is worth as far as a true appraised value. What we need to do is to get in touch with somebody from the APR program to find out. Somebody was supposed to get us the soils maps, right? They said they were going to provide us with those, one of the land trusts, and that'll give us a good indicator whether it's viable APR land.
Right.
Tomorrow, I think we're just going to, talk about different options, but we should try to get somebody from the APR for the next meeting to have the state talk to them about. I mean, that would be our best option. It's an easy thing to go.
Yeah, by far, APR seems like the best option. So I guess explaining that to them tomorrow is the task at hand. I don't know. They do seem open to a dialogue, but they also seem like they want a lot more information, which we may not have. So maybe we can just tell them that if you are interested, we can get somebody from MDAR to come talk to us the next time.
Find out what their schedule is, when they'd be available to have somebody come down. Yeah. So that's tomorrow at 2:00?
Yes. Yeah. We're at 2:00. So I'll conference you and Bert in.
Yeah. And I think, sorry, I took a little restroom break there, sorry. And Marissa and I have talked a little bit about just trying to make a a kind of a personal connection with the two women and kind of
Yeah.
find out what their story is. And
Well, Marissa she made a very good connection. They seemed like they wanted to talk to her a lot more than they wanted to talk to me. So I'm going to
Thanks.
take a little back seat on this one because she's
okay.
doing such a good job breaking the ice. They had some pretty bad feelings about town hall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I apologize for town hall, but I got frustrated with it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this going into the phone call tomorrow, they are like very demanding and kind of expect you to have like a really quick answer because even in the email correspondence I've had with them, it's been a little bit like, oh, okay, like at least for me. So FYI, and if anybody else has any good ideas about what we could possibly do, let me know.
Is it going to be a Zoom conference, or how are we going to meet?
They wanted to do just a telephone conference. They didn't want to do Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with how to do that, so.
I think I can do it from my phone, and they asked me to, because they wanted to do that. So then I asked them, okay, well, here are our numbers. And they were like, no, you do it. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to
Mhm.
do everything you want me to do so I can save this farmland. Like, all right, like,
Yeah.
whatever.
And if you know how to do that, and we're supposed to call you, I think, and then you're going to call them. Is that how it goes?
I think I have to call you guys first. So I'll call
okay,
you,
okay.
and then Dennis, or vice versa. And then I think we can, I don't know if there's a limit on how many calls you can keep adding to a phone call. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
No.
okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can soften them up a little bit.
Yeah, have a glass of wine before the call. You'll
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Now,
How do we get them to have that?
I know, right? Send them a bottle beforehand.
the next piece of land that we're talking about preserving that's on the agenda
Yep.
is the Seth Kellogg property.
Yep.
On Loomis
And he-
Street. And we had preserved it one time. It went to town meeting, it got voted. We had a grant that went through the state. And then the neighbor, they owned some of the land, went to land court. We lost the grant. We lost all the money.
Oh, man.
So Seth is starting to lose his facilities, and
Yeah.
he's turned it over to his daughter, and she still would like to do something to preserve the land. It's not really farmland per se. A piece of it is right next to Ron Cicchini's house.
Right across the street.
It's right. It's on this. Well, it's right next to Ron's house.
Oh,
It
right.
abuts-
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
developable.
He is interested in selling that property, Ron. I don't know if you have any interest in.
Oh, the one next door to Ron.
Yeah, I might be.
So I told him that I would mention it to you. I talked to his lawyer. I said if you could get a good price on it. I know it's a lot of wetlands and brooks going through it, but I figured he'd check with the neighbors first. He wanted to check with John Wally, but John's 2 parcels down, and you're right next to it. I thought you might have some interest, so I will
Yeah, I have some interest.
I'll tell him that you have some interest. The piece across the street that you're talking about, Dan, there's a lot of wetlands. It's all for habitat.
Oh, yeah.
It's
We grew up
beautiful
there.
habitat. And
Beautiful there.
we're going to try to get Fish and Wildlife to get involved with it, or whoever we can to try again to preserve that property.
Yeah, or maybe Audubon? How about Mass Audubon?
Yeah, it's
You know,
basically a bird sanctuary now.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Bert. We could get in touch with Mass Audubon too.
Yeah.
They know it's going to take a long time to preserve it. We told them we're looking at a year, minimum to try to get one of these grants to go through. And they'd like to dispose of the property sooner, but they're willing because there's not a lot you can do with it. There's not a lot of frontage. There's not a lot of high and dry land. So
Yeah.
it would be a great place to preserve just for habitat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
10 acres, right?
Next to you, yeah.
Okay. Good. Great. Well, so awesome, that we have these three pretty big preservation projects going on. They're different kinds, but that's what we're here for, right? So.
I think.
Right. One thing I forgot to mention, forgot to include in the agenda was actually from Tammy, the open farm day that we had been talking about, you know, and we had been talking about it at the end of September in conjunction with what was going to be the pumpkin festival for the Southwick 250. Of course, all that stuff is canceled. You know, but Tammy said, well, gee, we maybe could still have the open farm day. It would be some work, obviously, to contact the farms and see.
Or maybe we can just like do like a plan, like a dry run this year and like really promote it next year and hope, cross our fingers that all of these events will actually happen next year. Because now it's the end, mid-July, so it's kind of like, you know, it's coming up quick and everything, every other,
Right.
Even though farms are open, you still have to have, I know that the corn maze is canceled and a lot of the bigger things that usually happen here in town have not able to happen this year. I looked,
Right.
I don't even know if the one in Granby is happening yet or not.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the status with that one?
Last time I checked, I didn't see anything, but
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff will be limited that they usually
Yeah.
have anyway.
So you may not know off the top of your head, Tammy, but in terms of a dry run, what do you think that might look like?
But just like, you know, like having our brochures promoted at the different farms, and the library is now open for appointments. So, you know, we can have a brochure there or brochures there.
Yep.
And other places. I'm sure Lanita wouldn't mind posting a brochure like when it's done at her in the front there of her farm.
Okay.
And just kind of, you know, maybe, I mean, I don't mind not taking the lead because I know, Marissa, it was your initial idea, but you also have been doing a lot.
Yeah, you can take the lead. Please do, take it, it's yours.
I gotta, you know, reach out to the different farms, like I started with Firefly, and talk to them about, and certainly Lanita's even not easy enough for me to go talk to, just to kind of see like which farms might even show interest in the idea.
Yeah.
That's good.
Calabrese was interested in it this spring or May when I went over to Calabrese. Spoke with a friend there, Danielle Calabrese, who I went to school with, and she said if we did something, she would be open to doing it or having her parents participate in it since it's her family.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll sign my parents up to do it. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
So I don't mind doing that. I'll start, you know, I'll see if the Granby one's still happening, kind of like do a little bit more research of how theirs operates. I mean, I know a little bit from having gone to the farms, but kind of, you know, so I don't show up with no information.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some ideas from the site visit to this farm that Dan recommended too, in terms of activities.
That's a thought. Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
Okay, good. I mean, I think it'd be kind of it'd be a nice thing to do, obviously.
Yeah.
And if we sort of start quietly, that's all right. You know, start small. It's easier. You know, build from there. Yeah, good.
I had a question kind of related to this. Do we know of any businesses in town that, like restaurants, for instance, that buy from farms locally? I know that our farms are all pretty small in town and with the volume that a restaurant buys for food, but do we know of any place in town that makes food that features stuff from Southwick Farms? Like,
The Roma gets a lot of their produce, gets almost all their produce, eggplant from Calabrese Farms,
oh, no kidding.
lettuce, tomatoes, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. It gets all native produce in the summer.
Yeah. That's great to know, and a really good question, Marissa. You know, that's something we could promote one way or another, but on this farm day.
Something, yeah, because you know when you go to other towns, you see it. It's like beef raised from our town, you know, like from here, like locally raised beef, or
Yeah.
you know, produce from this local farm, like heirloom tomatoes in our salad from this farm. So just kind of nice. And I had no idea if we had any restaurants in town doing that, but Roma, there you
Yeah.
go. It's pretty cool.
I think the beef is tough because there's so many regulations about, you know, selling meat and how it's transported. And it's silly because you think you'd be better off having locally raised beef, but I
Yeah,
know
it's
that
probably healthier locally.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good idea. And maybe, is that part of the farm brochure project? Find out from the farmers who are you selling to? You know, are you selling to local restaurants or grocery stores or,
Right.
you know,
good.
I don't,
Right again. The guy's problematic.
okay. Well, I think it's 7:52. I think we've gone through the agenda. There's a lot of good stuff going on, and to get through an agenda this long in less than an hour is pretty awesome. So I will say. So if does anybody else have anything else to bring up for the good of the order, as we say? I think we've pretty much covered it for now. So I guess that means, do we want to have a motion to adjourn?
Tammy says motion to adjourn.
Okay. And a
Second.
second.
Second that.
Brett?
Or
Okay,
Bert.
let's see. Okay, so I'm Bert. I vote yay. Marissa?
Yay.
Yay. Tammy?
Aye.
Aye. Zach?
Aye.
Aye. Dan?
Aye.
And Ron?
Aye.
And Brett?
I muted Brett.
Well, he seconded it, so I think we can say it's an aye.
There you go.
And then Dennis.
Aye.
Aye.
Dennis is an aye. So, okay, so it looks like it's unanimous.